things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all.
Well, here we are on this beautiful Sunday, continuing with our series of Living Abundantly, Embrace Your Unlimited Good. And as we've been in this series for quite a while now, it's informing us that there's many aspects or perspectives that we can highlight or lift up in our lives as we're on this spiritual journey together. And today, it's give thanks. Now, I love this quote by Meister Eckhart, an 8th century Christian mystic. He says, if the only prayer you said was thank you, that would be enough. Now think about that. Why would that be? If thank you was the only prayer we ever said, why would it be enough? Well, in thinking about it, when I'm grateful, when I'm truly grateful, I don't focus on what's not working. I'm not feeling remorse when I'm feeling gratitude. I'm not feeling lost when I feel gratitude. It's truly simple. All you have to do is say thank you. To be grateful. Is life really that simple? Yes. It comes down to give thanks. It's a spiritual request because in our spiritual nature, one with God and all there is much to be grateful for in each and every second. In our humanness, in the relative, we've got a lot of stuff we can go, that's not right. That's a mess. Who's going to clean that mess up? You know, that humanness. But we can even bring gratitude into our humanness. And that's our journey. Reverend Lulu Logan, she's a great gal. I've met her through the Tony Baines Reimagining Ministry. She's a minister at large in Florida. She's done writings and speaking. And she wrote the passage in our booklet. There's a couple more copies on the welcome table if you haven't gotten one yet. And she called today's writing, Give Thanks, which is our title today. She says, gratitude is the front door that once opened, fully opened, changes everything. Everything, every person, and every experience is sharper, brighter, and more in focus. The blurry rush of the ordinary day is transformed into vibrant relief. This means everything. Now, when I had COVID recently, June 17th, I tested positive, and then I experienced that disease. And I can tell you that I was so grateful when someone I was talking to said, Gary, why don't you look at this as a great spiritual journey? To be grateful for it. And I was like, excuse me? Well, I did that. I practiced. I caught my journey of wholeness. And when I was able to bring gratitude from my heart, yes, I was able to take a breath. I can take another one. I can take another one. I was able to attend to myself and experience rest, peace. Even when my fever was 103, I had those moments of peace and calm when I was grateful. In sharp contrast to the times when I also spent in my humanness going, why me? Why do I have this? I hate having fever chills and aches and pains. And remembering that everything can change when I brought in the spiritual journey of gratitude. So if I can experience a lifting up in my COVID experience, can't each of us find gratitude in any situation to awaken to a more full life, to transform the blurry rush of the ordinary into vibrant relief? Yes, we can, by giving thanks. She goes on to say, everything we notice is another opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for continuous grace, unbounded love, a peace that truly breaks all barriers of human understanding. So if we're a writer, we might practice an ongoing gratitude journal and write about these experiences. Wow, this is what I experienced when I had COVID and I had gratitude. I'm strong, healthy, and whole as my body awakens and heals. What a blessing to have a body that can heal through things. So you could journal that. Dr. H. Emily Cady, a magnificent woman, she wrote a foundational book in Unity called Lessons in Truth. She was a physician in New York City in the 1800s. Now I think that's an incredible accomplishment since most women didn't even go to college. This is truth. There is something about the mental act of thanksgiving that seems to carry the human mind far beyond the region of doubt into clear atmosphere of faith and trust, where all things are possible. I think that's a component of why a grateful heart is so powerful for us, because it calls upon our faith and our trust. And gratitude brings on the light of the divine for us in every situation, because there's no lack in God. There's no lack in us. And if we can turn on an attitude of thanksgiving, then we're turning on God in our lives. We could say that God is love. We can definitely say that God is gratitude. For when we're grateful for life and that renewal and that blessing, we're ready to take on whatever life gives us. And we have much to be grateful for. We might spend 5 minutes, just 5 minutes in a day, and in those 5 minutes, think about all the things we're grateful for. Grateful for us assembled here right now. Grateful for the pride of Barbados that's so vibrant outside. Grateful for the health and wholeness. Grateful for the breath of life. Grateful for this beautiful building and the new air conditioners allowing us to be comfortable when it's hot outside. There are so many things we can be grateful for, and take 5 minutes out of every day just being grateful for whatever you're grateful for. It's a good practice. Melody Beatty is a substantial inspiration in the recovery, the 12-step programs. She wrote a powerful book called Codependent No More. And in it, she brings such wisdom and inspiration. She's a great writer and speaker. She says here, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. There are many other examples of how gratitude unlocks the fullness of our life. As we practice this, we can practice it on those occasions in our life when we have a diagnosis, the loss of a loved one, a diagnosis, bad news comes in all kinds of ways. And we can unlock the fullness of life experience feeling our grief, being grateful that we have the time to experience grief. It's just an emotion. It comes and it goes. And then it comes and it goes. And it comes and it goes. But with gratitude, we can experience all of life on life's terms. Now, another practice that we could do is to, right at the moment when you wake up in the morning, to think of 5 things you're grateful for. And then before sleeping, set your head on your pillow and think of 5 things you're grateful for. So you start your day in gratitude. You end your day in gratitude. A good frequency to go to sleep and have dreams in gratitude. Another way of amplifying gratitude into our lives. Brene Brown is a gifted speaker and writer. She says, I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude. We don't have to wait. Well, I'll be grateful when. Be grateful now. Be grateful for whatever is before us. For one thing, when we're grateful for the present moment, we're accepting the present moment just as it is. It's often the case, in fact, Brene Brown has said this, that much of our discomfort happens from arguing with what is. It's so true. When we argue with what is, who's going to win? What is? So if we stop, we open ourselves to, okay, this is what is. We can be grateful for the awareness and the acceptance of what is. And practicing gratitude is just that. It's a practice. Just like breathing. When we breathe, we don't take one breath for the rest of our life. We have to do it again and again and again. If we want fullness of life, we live with a grateful heart and give thanks. Martha Smock I turn to because she inspires me deeply. She was head of Daily Word for decades. She says, you take an important step towards having the kind of life you long to have by establishing the habit of giving thanks. Now, you might find your own way of amplifying that practice. But I mentioned a few in today's talk. A gratitude journal. So if you're a writer, write out those moments that you were inspired to bring gratitude into the present moment. And describe how it feels. It's a huge difference feeling gratitude when you experience COVID and when you're not feeling gratitude. It's a huge difference. You can write about it. Another way is to take 5 minutes out of your busy life, 5 minutes, and just think of all the things you're grateful for. On the micro, personal, and globally. There's much to be grateful for. And a practice, my favorite. Wake up in the morning and think of 5 things you're grateful for. Starting your day on the right foot. And then end the day. Not putting your head on the pillow, oh, I should have, what am I grateful for? And let that be the food for sleep. Living a grateful life means practicing gratitude, giving thanks, and with that, more clarity, more peace, more grace. And that's giving thanks. Thank you.
Step out on the water, release your faith. Every step is stronger. Step out on the water.